Alright people, this is my predictions for The Ultimate Fighter Season 10 finale. Really fast undercard. Mark Bocek, I'm going to pick him. He's like the king of undercard fights. He never gets featured, which is kind of sad, because you think maybe he'd get featured here, but not quite. Dennis Hallman, hey, let's go with the blast from the past, come on. Brian Stan, he's going to use his kind of watered down Machida act. Gonna go Justin Wren against John Madsen. And then we got James McSweeney versus Daryl Schoonover. Gonna go with McSweeney. He's a little more polished than Daryl looked. But then the main card. First fight in the main card. Big baby Marcus Jones, the Darkness, whatever you want to call him, versus Matt Matrione. I was watching a video from a guy named Will Million, and Will Million is a really good predictor and stuff, and he kind of summed up Matt perfectly, because he has good punching power, good chin, and that's about it. Not really that great of technique, nothing on the ground, wrestling, blah blah blah. It's not really good. Marcus Jones, though, he has more dimensions to play with here, and I like to see him take it down. He has good takedowns. And I'd like to see him get the sub here. That's what I think will happen. I think it will happen fast. I think it's going to happen fast. I think it has to happen fast. Unless, I hope Jones has worked on his cardio where he's a lot better. Hopefully. We'll see. Frankie Edgar versus Matt Veach. Interesting fight. I'm just going to go with the, Frankie Edgar here, because he's the favorite to win. I haven't really seen anything from Matt Veach, so no idea. Houston Alexander versus Kimbo Slice Ferguson. This one's a tough one. I've been going back and forth on this one because, alright, here's my thought process. First, Kimbo's a fast learner and stuff, and we know he's taking this serious now, and he's in a good training camp. Houston Alexander, not so much. I don't know. He bounces around, but mostly tries to train in Nebraska where no one is. So, first I was leaning towards Kimbo. But then I've watched this interview that the UFC posted up, and Kimbo talked about how they're going to go out there and bang, and Alexander did a wholly different interview where he said, a lot of people expect us to go out there and bang, but anyone who knows anything knows that us fighters come up with game plans before a fight. We don't just go out there and bang. We actually think this out on how we want to win this, and it makes me think that he's actually putting a lot of thought into this, while Kimbo, I think he may be dead serious, so he's just going to go out there and bang. And Houston Alexander does have some wrestling, and he does have leg kicks. So, it's so close. But I'm going to pick Houston Alexander just because he has more tools in this fight. Otherwise, they kind of match up evenly. Both have been KO'd, both can KO. But, I wouldn't be surprised if Kimbo pulled it off, because I do think he's training with a top team, and I think he has a lot of pressure on him, and he wants to, fulfill all this potential people see in him. Moving along, Matt Hamill versus John Jones. That's going to be a cool fight. I think Matt Hamill, he has a way, though, to make some guys look boring in his fights. But I think John Jones is a good matchup for him, because John Jones has been really exciting to watch in his last few fights. And I'm going to pick John Jones just because he showed so much already in such a young career. And, I'm going to go with him. I don't know, maybe, I know Matt Hamill has trouble getting hit, and he has really awkward stand-up. Of course, it could happen where Matt Hamill just is able to take him down with his wrestling and keep him down, but John Jones has shown that he has subs, too. So, yeah, I'm going to go John Jones, but I'm hoping for a good fight. And then we got the main event, Roy Nelson versus Brendan Schwab. This is for the title of The Ultimate Fighter. Really exciting. I've been reading a lot of people's comments and stuff. There's a lot of hate for Roy Nelson. It's kind of almost like the Dana hates rubbing off on him, and I love it. It's hilarious to read. It's funny how he gets under so much people's skin. First, he is cocky a lot of times, but also it's also that fat thing that bothers a lot of people. I guess there's this undertones of all these supposed heterosexual males who watch the sport, who say they don't care, what a man looks like, but then they get all uptight when, someone who doesn't have the muscular body type comes out and does good. It's like, oh, I don't want to watch that. Change the channel, Kenny. No homo. You know, that's what it feels like. I'm looking at it, I know Brendan Schwab is more well-rounded in my opinion. He has the subs on the bottom. He has good... He's pretty much known for his stand-up, but he's able to neutralize anyone on the ground. Roy Nelson is hard to, kind of... His punches look really telegraphed to me. I mean, he has good, big punches, but they just telegraphed. They're telegraphed to hell for me. But he's able to dodge well. He's able to make shots, just get out of the way of them. Even if they hit him, they've hit him after they've exploded, and they, it's not as much force in them. So he's good at that. If you ever watch it, it's like Matrix style shit out there. He's just, he's just moving around, just getting out of shots, dodging like crazy. Maybe not quite Matrix, but yeah. And on the ground, of course, he's a beast. He uses his belly well, and he overpowers people, and he could hit you in the top of the head until the ref has to do something. That's what we've seen so far. I was really on the fence on this one for a while, and someone brought up a good point that I didn't even think about. Someone was talking about how Roy Nelson is a clever guy. He's a clever fighter, right? And this guy suggested that he's won the same two fights. I mean, he won those two fights the same way for a reason. He wanted to show he didn't want to show that much of his game. He wanted to just show, well, look, be afraid of being kimboed. Be afraid of the crucifix. Fear the crucifix in the belly on your chest. And that's what everyone's preparing for, probably. I mean, it's almost like it's perfect, if you can just win one fight one way for a while, and then you can show people all your tools later. And I almost feel like that's what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's that smart of a fighter. Maybe he's not. But, bless you. But for that reason alone, I think that guy's right. I think he does. It was hiding a lot of his skills on the show, downplaying it a lot. And then people were saying, he looked lackluster. Well, of course he looked lackluster. He wanted, bless you again, he wanted to survive in the, get further and further in the tournament. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Roy Nelson, the big belly. Let's go for it. Why the hell not? I like his experience, too. That's something Brendan doesn't have as much as. And I just like that. But I may be wrong. And Brendan could win. Who knows? It's so hard to predict. Every match on here is very close, actually. That's what I want. I want some, some thrilling fights. I want some people going out there that want to win. And I think these guys are hungry. I know Roy Nelson is. No. Look who's talking. But yeah, that's going to be good. Hopefully it pays off. I'll talk to you later, people. Bye-bye.